We stand here today because of Lord Bacaro, what he brought together through the Society of the Steadfast, and what he tried to bring about as the Ascendant Lord. Instead of dividing us, instead of defeating and conquering us, he showed us what's possible when we work side by side. And through the courage and sacrifice of many of the people gathered here, as well as the nature spirit free, we persevered and won the day. Now to our royal guests, I say, let's recognize our friend, and then start the talks.
Our friend has performed above the call of duty. I name them Champion of the Covenant.
Not so fast, Emmerich. I name them Champion of the Dominion.
Then I name them Champion of the Pact.
Your Majesties, please. All of that would never fit on the medal. Let's just agree on Champion of the Alliances, shall we?
Oh, very well.
I can live with that.
If you insist.
This is the part of the story I hate the most, when we must inevitably say goodbye. As much as I try to avoid it, I have a terrible habit of growing quite attached to the people I work with. All that said, I will miss you most emphatically, my dear. My contract with the Society of the Steadfast doesn't end until the peace talks conclude, and who knows how long the Alliance leaders will yell at each other now that they've finally started. After that, some travel, some writing, some time to relax. Truthfully, I'm not sure. I hope Emmerich and the others can work something out. There's been more than enough blood spilled over the Ruby Throne for my taste. Alas, things like this aren't up to me. I do think there's a chance, though, thanks to you. I rarely have to look, dear. They seek me out. I would like a little time to recover from this ordeal, though. My old bones don't spring back like they once did. And I really want to find someone to, let's say, share a bottle or two with, yes? These accusations that I'm some clandestine writer of tawdry thrillers are beginning to rankle, dear. I understand that the next Vale novel will feature an unlikely location, a new romantic interest, and a villain of epic proportions. Or so I heard.
I assume you're off on another adventure after this. Take me with you. I'm not sure I'm ready to deal with the responsibilities that come with my new title. No. Both my father and Archdruid Reval taught me better than that. It is tempting, though, to pick a direction and just go. But there are challenges to take on right here in the archipelago. I think I'm actually looking forward to them. Dual heritages. Do you refer to Bretons being half-elf, or are you talking about my noble versus druid upbringing? Well, either way, there's nothing to reconcile. All of that is a part of me. Makes me who I am. If anything, I want to make use of it all. I think I have more than enough on my plate with Galen and building better relations with the druids. But I don't believe in the feud that has plagued the noble houses of the Sisters for years. If High Isle needs help, House Mornard will provide it. After all that has happened, I suppose I can confide in you. I'm going to ask Druid Laurel to stay in Vastir. Help me as a liaison between the city and the Druid circles. And if we also find time to renew a friendship of old, well, we shall see.
I suppose I should offer my congratulations. Not only did you help Quen and me, but I understand you calmed the volcano. Nicely done. Maybe next you could do something about mud crabs. I really despise the shells and those weird eye stalks.
All these lords and ladies. Usually I stay out of sight around these types. I'm not sure how to act while mingling with them. It's worth it to celebrate you, partner. You always seem to show up just when you're needed. We met our contact after leaving Lanshara. I thought Umindior would take credit, but he didn't care. All he could think about was that Neri woman. The pay was good, but the experience was more important. I really think this is the life for me. Zira keeps me busy. Grab a relic here, some accounting ledgers there. Honestly, it's great. I get to see all of Tamriel, then return to my new home in Abar's Landing. If you ever hear of some fancy jewels going missing, think of me. We met our contact after leaving Lanshara. I thought Umindior would take credit.
Now the discussions to resolve seasons of conflict begin. This is an important moment, friend, and you made it happen. Even if the peace talks fail, good things will come of this. They must. And know that you always have a place with the Stone Lore.
Look around, friend. All these people are here because of you. I don't know what we would have done without you.
My circle lost its way under Archdruid Orlaith. Some of us knew it, but we had gone too far. All we could do was fight on and hope that Orlaith's victory would be worth the price. I regret the things we did and promise to make up for it. Prophecy and faith are powerful things, outsider. And Orlaith told very convincing stories with her words. By the time I saw the truth of where she was leading us, there was no way to oppose her. Orlaith was just too powerful. It's true that a small number of Firesong cling to Orlaith's lies. But the rest of us, we want to make amends. Work with the other circles and see what comes of Count Stefan's overtures. We'd like to be part of the future of the archipelago.
Well, look at you, the hero of the archipelago. Mind if I tell some of the nobles that I know you? Maybe they know someone who could help me change Ogden back to how he's supposed to be. Not yet, but I think we're getting closer. Druid Fennis isn't giving up, and neither am I. He's been talking to druids from all the circles. Sooner or later, someone will think of something. In the meantime, I'm saving a lot of gold on candles.
Congratulations, friend. You earned every honor the Society and the other alliances want to bestow on you, as well as the gratitude of the Ebonheart Pact. I'll get the Skull King to issue a separate proclamation. He'll be sorry he missed all this.
You and Count Stefan have given the Elder Tide much to consider. We always guarded these islands against outsiders. Pirates, yes, but also nobles, settlers, and townsfolk. Now I see we may find friends where once we saw enemies.
Let me add my thanks to all these accolades, my friend. Your courage and resolve stopped a true villain from gaining terrible power, and you saved many lives. You have the gratitude of the Aldmeri Dominion, and of its queen.
Well done, my friend. Well done. The Daggerfall Covenant will not forget your actions here in the archipelago, and on a more personal note, neither will I. Now, we can get on with these blasted talks. Finally. Thanks to you.
The Society of the Steadfast will continue to provide help wherever it is needed. Whether war or disaster, we will be there to heal, to feed, and to shelter. I give you my word. Lord Bakaro's treachery was his alone. The Society's mission remains.
Who knows? Perhaps Raz will meet a nice druid boy while he is here. This one likes plants as much as the next Khajiit. Galen really is quite beautiful, yes? Of course, of course. You would think Raz was going to curl up and fall asleep right here at your feet. Actually, that is not a bad idea. Raz hopes so, Five Claw. Most folk believe the treasure was just a story anyway. And if anyone follows hints from Vastir to the caves, well, they'll have to dig out a mountainside for even a handful of coins. In this one's opinion, a job well done. Not great, kitten, not great. Raz wishes he could say he was even surprised, but he's not. This war. Raz knows in his heart the Dominion is on the right side of things, but it has gone on so long, and so things like this will continue to happen. Ah, kitten, Raz could tell you, but then he'd have to kill you. Do not worry, you wouldn't feel a thing, and he would be most respectful with your remains.
Hey, good looking. Did you miss me? I did go back to the mainland, but a new opportunity went sideways and it seemed prudent to disappear again. You know how it is. And I never miss a party. That's one of the 3 inalienable rules I live by. The other 2 fluctuate, depending. I would like to see how the peace talks turn out, and Lady Arabelle implied she might have more work for me. Something more substantial than ferrying messages. I think she plans to ask me to be her partner. What? It could happen.
You eliminated most of my rivals, adventurer. Even the few I once considered allies. Lady Arabelle was right to involve you in the affairs of the archipelago. Things may have taken a bad turn without your intervention. High Isle will remember you.
That druid Laurel of the Stonelore Circle. She's trying to get us all to work together. I suppose these peace talks are giving us all ideas. As well as can be expected, Pitoff and I are figuring out what it means to be chroniclers. I mean, without the help of a nature spirit. And we talked with Druid Laurel. I think we're going to allow druids from the other circles to come help us.
I should have known you had a hand in all of this, outsider. You seem to have a knack for making hopeless situations turn out for the better. We left the path in the care of the animals who roam it. I have no doubt that they'll be able to deter outsiders from wandering too far into our sacred site. Other druids will join us there soon, and we will rebuild our halls of memory. What choice do we have? Our stories and history are important, perhaps now more than ever. If my understanding of recent events is true, then you know the dangers of burying or misinterpreting the past. History should be learned from, not repeated.
Zaji worries about the leaders. Do you know Zaji once saw Queen Irene decapitate someone with a spoon? A spoon! Ah, well, out of Zaji's paws. But if you ever need us, Five Claw, Casca will come running. Zaji too, but definitely Casca.
Peace. I wonder if they'd really do it. I've grown to respect all 3 leaders in the time we've been assisting them, but I know these are not easy waters to sail. Anyway, if you ever need us, Five Claw, just send word to the Perfect Pounds.
Are we ready to begin, Your Majesties?
I suddenly feel extremely humble.
Well, gentlemen, shall we?
I suppose we shall. We did endure much to get to this point, after all.
Then let us see how possible peace may be.
For such a warlike people, you do seem obsessed with the notion of peace, mercenary. Sure, you and I learned to work together this time. But the next? We're just as likely to cross swords as break bread. That's not a threat, just an observation.
Well, that's done. What's next for us, I wonder? I do like it here on Galen, and I enjoy spending time with Laurel and Stefan. But I'm an adventurer at heart. The sea calls to me. Perhaps we'll cross paths again, mate. Stranger things have happened.
So much death and destruction because a man spoke a few words in the ancient past. I think I may have learned as much as I care to about the Druid King. Now I need to look to the future. We all do. And we can, thanks to you. Well, not completely. There are still mysteries to solve, secrets to learn. But I also need to concern myself with the present, the future. What's next for the Stone Lore and the Druid circles? How do we move forward from here? I do love a challenge. Free isn't gone. They just found a new purpose. And by their actions, they calmed the volcano and saved us all. I'll go to Iphelon, try to commune with Free. Sometimes bound spirits respond, sometimes not. But they'll know I remember, that I care. The remaining elders and archdruids are talking. They'll call a Drafa soon. Then, we'll see. We have to make sure the Firesong return to the true path, and we have to learn to trust them. To trust each other. Again. If Ray will guide us. Stefan suffered some great losses. We all did. But he's strong. He'll make a good leader for Galen. And the Druids are already responding to his overtures. Oh, you mean... that's rather personal. Even for us. But Stefan and I... we'll see.